Welcome back, everyone. Oh, happy Sunday afternoon to you. It's lovely to have your company here at Hochanda. My name is Derek. If we've never met before, it's lovely to meet you. And if we're old friends, welcome back. We have got a brilliant Sunday for you and a show that has been so much awaited and so needed on our lives. The Happy Puzzle Company is back in the house here at Hochanda. And Gavin is here. Gavin, it's lovely to meet you. Happy New Year.
Hello, Derek. Happy New Year. Hello, everybody. Hello, Hochanda world. How are you all? Happy New Year. My first show since Christmas Eve. And I'm delighted to be here with some brand new things.
Which is absolutely brilliant. I love this. Now, legendary, first of all, we have got some exclusive, like world exclusive puzzles coming your way in this hour as well. But I want to talk, first of all, about something that you know which is legendary to the Happy Puzzle Company, which is the Genius Square. It is coming up a little bit later on. I know a lot of you, in fact, thousands of you, have it already in your lives. There are competitions going on here, there, and absolutely everyone. I want to hear about your experiences of the Genius Square as well. It is coming up, and we will feature it later in the show. Can you nutshell it in 30 seconds, Gavin?
The greatest game ever invented, bar none. 350,000 copies sold worldwide in the first 2 years. Game of the Year in Australia, Product of the Year in Australia, Game of the Year in Spain, in the final of Game of the Year 2021 in the USA, and it's received the second highest product rating ever given to a game by the Good Toy Guide in the UK.
Oh,
Does that sell it?
I tell you what, that was pretty much bang on 30 seconds. And you know what? For those of you watching who it isn't in their lives so far, well, I'm included, so I'm really fascinated to see how this works. I understand that Yanis is a bit of a mean streak at this game as well. So it is there for you to buy, and I know people buy this multiple times as well, because what's happening now with lockdown is that this is a game that you can play with you in your house and someone else in their house, and you can video Zoom and Skype and all of those video calling things to each other, and you can play each other. Listen, £16.99 right now. Remember, Flextravaganza is on right now, so you can split that down into 2 flexes as well, which is really good. And all you need to do is pop that item number into your basket right now, 549652. Right, the follow-on to the Genius Square is the Genius Star, and that's what we're going to just very briefly mention right now. Here it is at £18.99. So the difference between the Square and the Star, Gavin?
So the Star is a follow-on. It's much more complex. So instead of taking about 30 seconds to a minute per game, it's going to take you more like 5 minutes to 20 minutes per game. Lots more scope for possible puzzles to do, including some really dramatic twists, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Again, huge award winner, current Toy of the Year in the USA, as chosen by the toy industry itself in the USA. It's been out since May, 85,000 copies worldwide already.
And I'm really happy to know as well, this is something that you can play. If it's just you at home, you can play.
So you can play by yourself.
Yeah.
You can play with somebody else in front of you.
Yeah.
But the key thing, particularly during lockdown, is that you can play it with somebody else on Zoom or Skype, and you'll see as we demonstrate it later that it really is easy to play against somebody else. In fact, there's all sorts of Zoom competitions that are going on at the moment, and we have been bombarded by Hochanda viewers telling us their stories of how they're being able to play with their children and grandchildren remotely over Christmas. So this is really something special for lockdown.
Fabulous. If you have yours already, then absolutely, pictures, stories via our email address, studio@hochanda.com. I would love to hear. Can't wait to get playing a little bit later. And for the littlies among the family, to get them, well, I suppose it's a bit like you would graduate to the Square and the Star by starting with Be Genius, which is for the littlies, Gavin.
If you're aged from 3 to 8, you would definitely start with Be Genius. And it is different to the others because it's a non-competitive version. It's designed to build self-confidence, spatial awareness skills and thinking skills in younger children. The pieces are much bigger, much chunkier, and as I say, it's not done in a competitive way. What we're trying to do is build confidence. It's a lovely game with really beautifully made chunky wooden pieces.
I feel like this is where I should start my journey with these games. $16.99, it is there for you. If you know you loved the games that you have already from the Happy Puzzle Company and you want something for the kids to play with right now, because they are around a lot more, and you want to get them away from technology, etc., then this is great because it's good old board games as well. We're going back to basics, which I love. $16.99, back to basics, but with something which is brand new and something that will build as well, which I love.
And Derek,
now,
one more thing, just to say to people, because I know how many viewers have got their sets. If you want to play against Derek and I later in the show, make sure you've got your Genius Square or your Genius Star or both in front of you.
Brilliant. Right, I'm looking forward to that because I am totally in the dark at the moment, so it might be the same for you as well. So stick around. This is brilliant. Right, let's talk puzzles right now. Do you know, puzzles, it's one of those things that you think, actually, do you know what? It focuses the mind. It's something to concentrate on. It's something to achieve right now when we are at home an awful lot. We have got for you, via Gavin and the Happy Puzzle Company, world exclusives in jigsaw puzzles right now. Let's start with the first one. A world exclusive. Proper
world exclusive. So this is a Call the Midwife 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. Now, in case you've been living on another planet and you've never seen Call the Midwife, it's the most wonderful BBC period drama which has been running since 2012. 86 episodes once the new series has been put to bed. It starts very, very shortly. And this wonderful thing is now available for the first time as this multiple image jigsaw puzzle. Now, when we say exclusive, this puzzle is not available anywhere in the world at the moment. It is currently awaiting a bay in order to be able to dock at Felixstowe Harbour. And as soon as it comes into us, because this is on an extended delivery.
It is, yeah.
It's due to dock in on Tuesday, and it will be available exclusively through the Happy Puzzle Company. But the key thing is, because it's not actually available there and there is a limited number available, you get the opportunity today to buy this puzzle exclusively through Hochanda. When they've sold out, they've sold out. And at the moment, as you've probably read in the press, jigsaw puzzles have gone completely mad because they are providing huge entertainment during lockdown. It's the most stunning puzzle, this.
Well, at the end of the day, even if any of the retail stores take deliveries of these, of course, those retail stores' doors are closed right now, so we can't get in there to buy it anyway. So this is your opportunity to be first off the blocks as well. I love this. You're going to love every single puzzle that we have coming up in this show. Call the Midwife. The Midwife is such a popular series. I know thousands and thousands of you watch it and love it as well. This might be a gift for somebody else as well. They are an extended dispatch, as Gavin mentioned there. So we are saying the 25th of January. As soon as we possibly can.
There are delays at the ports at the moment, so it should be quicker than that. But just to cover things, we're saying the 25th, but it should be significantly before that.
Right, let's do another exclusive then, shall we? And I think this is another world exclusive, Gavin.
It is another world exclusive, and it's very, very, very significant because, as you may have read in the press, it is the 30th anniversary of Mr. Bean being celebrated today. Although the actual first of the only 15 Mr. Bean programmes that were ever made was actually broadcast on the 1st of January 1990, and it ran for 5 years periodically. But it's been sold now to some absurd 245 territories worldwide.
And there were films as well, weren't there?
There were two highly successful Mr. Bean films. It is a worldwide phenomenon which was actually created by Rowan Atkinson as a character while he was doing his master's degree at Oxford University.
Yeah.
Now, this 1,000-piece puzzle is absolutely exceptional because there were so many images that we could choose. Again, this is a complete exclusive to Hochanda at the moment. It is not available anywhere else in the world. And once they arrive, obviously, everyone's going to want them, and they won't last very long. It is a world exclusive.
Absolutely, and I love that. I mean, the imagery just makes you smile, doesn't it? So as it comes together, it just gets happier and happier. I love the images. I think they're absolutely brilliant. They really typify what is that enormous character of Rowan Atkinson's, which is Mr. Bean as well. So again, a world exclusive right now. That $18.99, by the way. It is on delayed dispatch, so if you want to split that into 2 payments right now, you can, because Flextravaganza is definitely in play right now, so you can break that $18.99 down into 2 payments. You know what you are going to be doing as well is probably getting a fair old collection of bits and pieces in a basket today. I think it's definitely going to happen. Completely by chance, Gavin and I have never met. I've never seen the Happy Puzzle Company before, so it's brilliant to be a first for me. But as a wee nipper, when I was smaller than I am even now, on a weekly basis, my nan, I can't remember how much it was, but she would always go to the newsagent and pick up my copy of the Beano. And because I didn't see her very often, I'd go and see her the other side of Kent, and then she'd have a big stack of like 13 or 14 in between trips. The Beano is like the story of my childhood.
So, do you know, one of the funny things about this is whenever you meet people who've grown up with the Beano, one of the things they always say, one of the first things they always say was, how much was it when you first bought it?
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. I don't know why I have something like 10 or 12 pence in my head. I don't know what it might
That means you're significantly younger than me, because I started getting it in 1976 when I was 7 years old. I used to get off the school bus and get it, and it was 2p. Very quickly went up to 4p.
Right.
And now it's something ridiculous, like £3.95, and includes all sorts of free games and stuff.
Oh, does it?
But I don't know if you know how old the Beano is. The Beano, the first edition actually came out on the 30th of July, 1938.
Wow.
And in fact, if you go back just to August 2019, the 4,000th issue was published. Now, at its absolute peak, what do you think the circulation was? How many copies do you think they sold a week?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go just a random figure. I'm going to go 200,000.
So if you go back to April 1950, it was 1.942 million copies per week.
Per week?
Per week.
My gosh.
Just under 2 million copies of the Beano were sold every week. And if you look through the ages, most of the main characters that were introduced over the years, Dennis the Menace and Gnasher and Walter the Softy and Roger the Dodger and Minnie the Minx and Billy Whiz, they're all still there.
Are they still in there? And are they still frozen in time at the age they were back in whatever? Have they grown up at all?
Strangely, Dennis the Menace is still, and I'm not sure he's ever washed his sweater, but if you look at this image, which you can see on screen now, it is stunning. It is a whole history of all of the characters that have appeared in the Beano. All of your favourites are there. All of the Bash Street kids are in there. And this is a trip down memory lane. But actually, as a jigsaw puzzle as well, this is phenomenal because of the colours that are in there. This is something you're going to want to glue afterwards and really treasure, put on the wall and treasure. Definitely.
And the great thing today is we have a 1,000-piece and we have a smaller 200-piece puzzle as well. Who do you recognise out of that straight away? Brilliant. I absolutely love it.
That's Banana Man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Was Banana Man in the Beano?
So basically, the D.C. Thompson stable, which has gradually shrunk in children's comics, a lot of the time, so for example, when the Dandy ceased publication, some of the characters, like you'll see in there actually just to the right of the image, Biffo the Bear, some of the characters merged in with the Beano. So the Beano's consistency has always been there. There's Billy Whiz as well, but it has absorbed some other characters as you've gone through the years. But whatever you remember from the Beano is going to be inside this glorious, glorious picture. And again, that is a world exclusive that is not available anywhere else in the world at the moment. It's first come, first served. There is a limited quantity of these, and Hochanda have got that first come, first served. But you're going to have to be quick.
Listen, I mean, there are lots and lots and lots of us who have lived with the Beano over the generations, and it instantly makes you smile. It instantly takes you back to a place in time, wherever that is, whether it be your childhood. Yeah, absolutely. Might be your childhood. It might be, you know, your sons, daughters, grandchildren, whatever it might be. So this is your 1,000-piece puzzle. There's a real challenge there because there's a lot of characters in there as well. £18 and 99 pence. So is the Beano still in circulation now, Gavin?
Yes, absolutely.
Wowzers. I didn't know it was even still around because, of course, when you feel like you've outgrown something and you move on in life, I can't keep going to the newsagent every week for a copy of the Beano. They'll think I'm silly. So you lose touch with it, don't you? So it's just really lovely to go back in.
But you know what was really nice was when these arrived, and I've only had these myself since Friday, and my youngest daughter, Shiri, who's 9, started reeling off the names of all of the characters.
Really?
And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were this into the Beano. Now, of course, it's also on TV now, as these things always are. There's various Beano-based cartoons and things. But this is just as much appealing nowadays to children as it was then. Unfortunately, as was the case with comics, comics are very expensive now.
Yes. Right, well, let's scale it down then to something that the young generation is still in touch with the Beano right now. Who knew? We all thought it was something from way back when. It's something that's very, very current now, and even on your TV screens, had no idea whatsoever. So, if you want to get started, or this is recommended at ages 3 to 8, isn't it? But I think I would start here. I think that's a lovely big image as well. So 200 pieces on this one. So this is your smaller Beano puzzle. So I remember Dennis the Menace, and I remember that's Gnasher, isn't it?
That is Gnasher the dog.
Who's the female character?
That is Minnie the Minx.
Minnie the Minx, of course it is. I need to go back to those comics. I do need to go back to those comics and just relive those memories again, because they were brilliant. 286450 is your item number then for the smaller one there. So 200 pieces there. Lovely, lovely image as well. And it's quite nice because you can all get involved in something like this. If you've got littlies, if you've got toddlers, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can actually spend some time with them as well. And see the joy of that accomplishment when they finish the puzzle as well. I think that's lovely. Remember, you can break that down into 2 flexies as well with Flextravaganza. Right, OK. Back now to Call the Midwife, and I have to tell you, this image could not be any more perfect for right now, Gavin, could it?
It's freezing outside.
Yes, absolutely. Baltic.
If you want to feel nice and warm inside, then definitely this is a nice snowy puzzle for you to do. This is the existing Call the Midwife jigsaw puzzle. Again, there's a limited edition of these, and there's a limited quantity available as well. It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw. Really, really lovely. And this one is also available today. And is another new puzzle as well. It's not a world exclusive like the other ones are, because this has been available for a few weeks, but it is just as gorgeous. And if you are a fan of Call the Midwife, or if you know anybody who is a fan of Call the Midwife, they will thoroughly appreciate the characters that are in here as well.
Do you know, I haven't seen it too often, but I recently saw an interview with Miriam Margolyes, and she played a role in Call the Midwife as well, which seems the most unlikely thing in the world, but she did, and we love her, and that's a reason to go and watch Call the Midwife as well, isn't it? $18.99. Again, a nice little challenge as well. I love the fact that all of your puzzles that we've got featured here, they're all contemporary and they're all familiar. They're all things that we know and we love. A lot of puzzles that you see and that have been available, and it might be your thing completely and utterly, I'm not knocking it, but it's a church scene in a landscape somewhere, and it's quite nice to have something that is iconic, that is different, that means something to you, that you can identify with as well. I think that broadens the appeal of jigsaw puzzles as well, isn't it? I think sometimes they've been seen as something that we grow into in life, and absolutely, with everything going on right now, it's something where it can completely get you away from the gadgets and the news and everything else, and you could just like crafting. That's why this is the perfect place for the Happy Puzzle Company as well. Talking of icons, well, they don't get any better or bigger in classic comedy, do they, than Laurel and Hardy?
Absolutely not. And this is a stunning jigsaw. And as you can see in the jigsaw, it is a jigsaw of Laurel and Hardy doing a jigsaw, which is particular. Now, let me ask you a question, Derek. How many films do you think Laurel and Hardy made?
Oh gosh, I know it was a fair few, but I'm going to guess, because it was back in the day, I'm going to guess somewhere, I don't know, let's say 52, because I know it was more than Carry-Ons.
OK, so they were operating together as a duo between 1927 and 1955. And in that time period, they made 107 films. Wow. And that was 32 silent short films, and then 40 short films with sound, and then full-length feature films. They did 23. But the really interesting statistic, when you realise how legendary and how famous they are, how many times do you think they appeared on TV in the USA?
Oh, gosh. Well, they were kind of silent film era, so you don't really associate them with speaking at all, do you, really?
So the only time they ever appeared on television in the USA was on the 1st of December 1954 when a This Is Your Life was done on them.
Really?
That was their only appearance ever on TV in the USA.
Shall I share my one and only Laurel and Hardy fact? I'm not sure which one of them has a connection with Ulverston in Cumbria, because I used to work for a radio station there, and I've stood next to, there's a Laurel and Hardy museum in Ulverston in Cumbria near the Lake District, and I have a picture of me next to the statue. So I don't know if one of them came from Cumbria that way, from...
I think they were both American of origin, but they certainly came over to England together at one point. Ah. And that's from having seen the Laurel and Hardy film about the biopic about Laurel and Hardy.
Wow, yeah, I think that's something that we all need to catch up on as well. I think it's quite a black and white puzzle as well. Also, that gives you a bit more of an extra challenge, doesn't it?
That's because it was filmed in black and white.
Of course, that's the only images there ever were of them. Yeah, ask a silly question, Derek. So that's your 1,000-piece Laurel and Hardy jigsaw puzzle then. That's 441977. Again, remember, with Flextravaganza right now, you can break that down into two very, very easy payments there for you as well. I would imagine there's a lot more in your basket than just the one puzzle. We do have a 500-piece as well, and here they are. Is this the same puzzle they're at, Gavin, on this one?
I think it probably is the same puzzle, but I think everyone else who's sitting in the first one has given up by that stage. So yeah, I think it's such a lovely idea to have a puzzle of people doing a puzzle.
There's it's Stan, isn't it, with the sort of Brill creamed down hair, hair products are available.
That is Stan Laurel, and Oliver Hardy is the tall, thin one.
So Stan's looking quite bemused there, quite rightly, with the amount of pieces in front of him, I'm guessing.
I think he needs some conditioner on his hair.
Yeah, I think he does, yeah. Yeah, it's not necessarily a good look, is it, for a photo? But you know, it was all about comedy at the time. In black and white, it probably looked better.
But also, it makes these pictures really challenging because they're in black and white.
Yes.
So if you really want to get your teeth into something, and they are so stunning when they're finished at the end.
I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's genius. $16.99, and that is yours. 271344 is the item number. Right. Okay. Next up, we have got the works of a brilliant, brilliant illustrator who you will feel like you're familiar with his work straight away when you see it, because it's comical, it's whimsical, it's full of people. It's Len Epstein. Talk to us about Len, Gavin.
So Len has been cartooning for years and years and years, decades. He is actually self-taught, and a lot of the work which he does is corporate work, but he's become known as a legendary cartoonist. And that's largely because of these types of jigsaws that you see here, which were especially licensed from him. And you can actually see them built up there behind Derek. He's actually got the built puzzles in there. Now, there are 3 different ones which we've got here. There is one which is called Traffic Jam, which is the one on the left.
That's this one here, isn't it?
Which is that one. Then we've got The Day at the Beach, which is the one in the middle.
Which is definitely before the days of social distancing, because there are thousands of people on that beach, let me tell you.
It's definitely not Bournemouth.
And we've also got the block party as well. So let's home in, shall we, on one by one. In fact, if I just lay these down for a second, then we can see the imagery. We'll get Marcus to go in.
I'll tell you why I love these so much. No matter how many times you look at these images, you always see something different going on.
Yes.
And you go back to them weeks and weeks later and you see the detail of what's going on with them. Let me see if I can
just angle that to it. There we go. We've got it.
Yeah, that's really good now to see that. And they're busy. They're really busy, and they tell so many stories. And as I say, every time you go back to them, you're going to see something different. And they look so wonderful when they're displayed on your wall, because whoever comes to your home is going to want to spend ages looking at them. Just as I look now, I'm seeing things that I hadn't noticed before. The pair of eyes that are peering out of the castle there at the top, as you can see. And you've got the inflatable snake that's there. It's just wonderful stuff. Absolutely wonderful stuff. And of course, it's all based on a chaotic traffic jam as well.
I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Just going back to Laurel and Hardy in a moment, I've just had lots of emails have come through. I was sort of right. I remembered things a little wrong. Stan Laurel was actually born in Ulverston in Cumbria.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. In 1890. Thank you to everyone that's emailed in as well. Should we go to the beach next with Len? This is lovely. This is my favourite. I mean, my family hail from a place called Thanet in Kent, which is out on the coast, so Ramsgate, Margate, Broadstairs, that kind of part of Kent. And this reminds me of a very, very packed Broadstairs beach. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And there are so many people on that beach as well. It's fascinating, isn't it? Because every time you look at it, Gavin, you see something new, don't you?
And this is a bit of a pipe dream. This is about as far away from a beach day as you could get today.
Yes.
The idea of sitting on a beach in beachwear today is that not appealing. So you can recreate that in your own home.
I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And it's a really lovely challenge. And again, this could be one that you sit down and do with the kids. It could be one as well that you kind of go at for weeks and weeks and weeks and build up the challenge. And then at the end of it, as you say, you've got a gorgeous piece of artwork, haven't you?
But how amazing is Len Epstein as a cartoonist?
Oh.
If you actually go online and look at some of his work, you'll see that he's done and the books that he's illustrated. The man is a genius, and he's completely self-taught. Which is
no mean feat at that kind of scale.
Absolutely amazing images. And I've got all three of these. They go together beautifully as a set. And they are absolutely wonderful for people coming in and having a look at and then really marvelling at. And it's the sort of thing as well that you want to take apart and build again. It's just...
The shorts
honestly,
on that man there, the shorts are just hilarious. I just think it's brilliant. It just captures that whole seaside thing, doesn't it? I love it. I think it's really, really good. So that's the second one. But we have the third option as well, which is behind me, which is called Block Party over here. So let's see whether we can get a little shot of that one. And I take Block Party as an American block we're talking here.
It's a block.
We're on the block.
It's, I think, what you might call the equivalent of the street party that we're all going to have when this pandemic finally goes away.
Are we ever? Right, let me see if I can tilt this slightly forward. Actually, I'll have to do it left or right, Marcus, actually, because otherwise I'm in danger of turning 1,000 pieces back into 1,000 pieces.
That wouldn't be good.
Well, listen, we only have an hour, Gavin. That's the problem.
So you look at this and you just see every type of person that could possibly be living in your neighbourhood. The old and the young, the inquisitive, Mrs. Nosy from next door, Mr. Nosy from the other side, and all of the things that would go on there. It is just stunning. The work that has gone into creating this, and it just works superbly well as a jigsaw puzzle. I genuinely love Len Epstein's work. I think he's an absolute genius.
They're so whimsical. I love them. I think they're really, really good. So you've got three options to look at. You can look at them more closely and zoom in on them and everything else on the website as well. Don't forget. The item number is 002691, and you'll see all three options there. So Block Party, Day at the Beach, and the Traffic Jam one there as well. They are £16.99, which of course you can split down into two flexi payments as well, which is brilliant. Right. Now we're going... Now this, I've heard about this puzzle before because everyone has been telling me about you and the Happy Puzzle Company since I walked in the door today. So it's lovely to meet you. But you have now these, all the puzzles we've seen so far, you think, right, I think I could go for that one. But you've got something behind you there that, I mean, the name says it all. Explain.
The words puzzle and evil don't normally go together in the same sentence, but they should do on this occasion, because what I've got behind me here are three of the four almost impossible puzzles to be able to do, and they're pretty self-explanatory when you see them. I want to tell you how I got into these. We also, one of the things which we do is we create photo jigsaws. Just people send us their photographs and we turn them into a jigsaw. And my wife had this wonderful idea that we should take a picture of the dog in the garden and do it. And turn it into a jigsaw. And all of a sudden we had the dog on the grass with the bushes behind it. It was effectively a sea of green. And we realised this was the most wonderful thing that you could do as a jigsaw puzzle. So the first of these that we're looking at over here is a grass puzzle. This is literally a patch of grass. This is not just a patch of grass, this is some sort of method of torture.
Where is this grass, Gavin?
I'm guessing it's in somebody's garden. It might be in the local park. It's certainly been mowed
healthy.
relatively recently. But isn't that a fantastic thing? And I think when you look at it from a distance as well, you're not quite sure what it is. But once you've built this, the sense of satisfaction that comes from building this. But you wouldn't give this to somebody if you wanted them to have an easy time. You want to give this to somebody who seriously wants to be challenged.
This is a great comedy birthday gift, isn't it? Definitely.
Or a method of torture.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. For those people that you know in your life who have everything, do you know what I mean? And you always buy them a funny birthday card or a naughty birthday card or whatever it may be. This is the one. This is the ultimate, right, I've got you this time. I've got you this time. See if you can do this. That's amazing. That's just one of the options because...
So, option number 2 here, these are jelly beans. And of course, jelly beans come in a million different colours and flavours and all sorts of different things. But you try and do them as a jigsaw when you've got the colours which are so similar and yet slightly different. And of course, the reflections make such a difference as well. So here I do my weather forecast a bit over here.
That's very good.
So you can see we've got the red ones over here. And even though they're the identical red colours over there, the shading is slightly different because of the light and they become darker over here. So you've really got to sort them out, and you've got so many that are so similar than there, in there that you've really got to think about what you're doing. So I suspect this is a little bit marginally easier and less evil than the grass, but don't be fooled into thinking that this is anything other than tremendously difficult for somebody to do.
Oh, I love it. I bet you've had some wonderful feedback on these puzzles as well, Gavin, as well, about that. Now, if you can step the other side of that so we can get to that rainbow one with the camera.
This is my favourite.
This is just, it's stunning.
This
is wave rainbow, is it?
This is the wavy rainbow. It is exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
You can see the colours of the rainbow as they go through, going right the way down from the blue over here, going up to the green in the top corner over there. And I hope that the camera can pick up the detail of this. It is stunning beyond words. And the sense of depth that you get as well with the wavy lines is really amazing. This is a truly magnificent puzzle and it looks stunning on any wall. This is a made-up one which I bought from home and it really does look stunning on a wall. And there is a harder version of this which Derek has got.
Oh yes, I have. Actually, I have got it, hasn't it? It's this one over here, isn't it?
Indeed.
Marcus, if you stay right where you are for a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to bring this over here so that you can see it and then I can pick it up. Oop. Then I can pick it up and move it. Oh, it's okay, isn't it?
That's the wavy rainbow. Sorry, that's the blurry rainbow. This is the wavy rainbow. The one you've got, the one Derek's got there now, is the blurry rainbow. I'm
gonna hold this very, very gingerly because I'm at a certain angle now that any wrong move and I could be in serious puzzle trouble.
Do you know when you go into a china shop and they say if you break something?
The thing is, Gavin, I know we've never met before, but I am that kind of clumsy klutz. I am that person. How beautiful that is. Lovely ombre of colours that you've got. Again, that's $16.99. I think it's brilliant. Right, 608909 is your item number there at $16.99. Let's go and have a look at all of the puzzles that are on the web as well. Remember, we've got some world exclusives there as well, like Mr. Bean and the Call the Midwife one as well. Absolutely exclusive to us here at Hochanda. I mean, exclusive in the world as well. They are on delayed dispatch. They are coming out for you on the 25th of January. Gavin assures us at latest. So we will get those out as soon as they go through, because obviously with everything that's happened recently and is happening in the world at the moment, it's slightly more complicated getting things through. I mean, they're there, aren't they? They're there. They are absolutely there. It's just doing the paperwork and dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and we'll get it all sorted as quickly as we possibly can. Right, we are back where we started, which is great, which is music to my ears, because we are at the legendary Genius Square game. Now, what I have in front of me, well, I don't know what I have in front of me, Gavin, actually, so I'm a complete novice. You can take me from square zero to hero.
But do you know something? You're just about the only presenter here now that hasn't done a Genius Square show with me, so I'm delighted to have the opportunity.
Brilliant.
I have to tell you, when we came in at the top of the show, because Paola had just finished doing the previous show, and her face of excitement when she saw that we were doing the Genius Square, So I have to say, Yanis aside, I have managed to beat most of the presenters hands down. So you've got a challenge there as well.
Oh, I'm ready. Bring it on.
Now, as I said at the beginning, and I want to say it again, if you've got your Genius Square at home with you, then make sure you've got it to hand so that you can play against Derek and myself as well. So this is the Genius Square, and I'll explain why it's called the Genius Square. It's a lovely story, first of all. This was invented by an Algerian mathematician called Salim Bergish, who wrote to me nearly 3 years ago now to say that he devised a game which he thought was going to be a world beater, and he handed it over to all of the top toys and games companies in the world, and they'd all rejected him and said they weren't interested. And that's because his idea in its original form didn't actually work in the way that he thought it was going to work.
Ah, okay.
And instead of rejecting him, we decided we were going to make it work. And when you see exactly how this works, honestly, there are 62,208 possible ways of playing this game. Everyone is different, and every single one has a solution. So, this is what we do. We have 7 dice, and each of the dice has got on it a number of coordinates. So you see we've got A to F across the side, and 1 to 6 across the top. And when we roll these dice, it's these that will fall in any one of the 62,208 combinations.
Okay.
And what we're going to do once we've rolled them, which I'm doing here, I hope everyone can see those here, I'll call out the coordinates, and then you're going to take these round blockers, and you're going to block out those coordinates.
Okay, right.
So let's see what we've got here. So we've got A4,
A4,
and A5,
A5,
and C1,
C1,
and C2,
C2,
and D4,
D4,
and D5,
D5,
and F1.
F1.
So this is just one way in which this can be played, and all of them follow the same pattern, which is you have got to complete the grid with the other pieces before your opponent, and it works every single time.
So I just have to fill in the gaps.
You've got to fill in the gaps against me and see how well you do it.
Right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, on your marks, get set, go. Now, I always say this whenever I'm doing this on here, it is phenomenally difficult to actually try and solve this whilst you're actually talking on TV at the same time. But nevertheless, I don't have an option here.
Listen, love a
I'm just going to have to do
challenge.
my
Love a
best here
challenge.
as I can do it. Let's put that one in here.
How long have you been playing this, Gavin, by the way?
How long have I been playing it?
Like, I need
He
to
says
know
they make
this.
it. Well, to be honest with you, it's not about time. It's about the number of times I've probably played. Wow, I'm really struggling with this one here.
Oh,
It
I'm
is
quite
very
close,
difficult
but-
to talk and do this.
Yes, it is.
At the same time.
It is. Look, I'm
As you
most
can
of the way
see,
there.
and I
That's
have
really
to work.
frustrating.
Yeah, and you'll get very close, and you'll suddenly think to yourself, "Am I as close as I thought I was going to be?" These pieces, by the way, and I will mention in a moment exactly what you get in your set. That these pieces clock into place so beautifully. I'm quite sure that everybody is watching their television at the moment and saying, "This is how you do it." What have I done wrong here? Oh my goodness me!
I love
really,
this.
but it's not that easy to do, and yet it looks and seems as though it's going to be so easy to do. Let's put that one in here and this one in here.
And so how many people can play at the same time?
So there's no limit to number. You get 2 sets, and I'll go through exactly what you get inside your set in a moment. But there is actually no limit to goodness me. Wow, look at this for a struggle.
And I don't take my eyes off of mine right now.
Well,
this is how competitive you've made me right now.
I know. I'm sorry. This is my own doing
look,
here.
Look! I can't believe how close I am.
But you're not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
You're
I'm
not there
absolutely
yet.
not there
I'm very nearly there. Wow, what's happening here?
Sorry, Leslie. We're getting loads and loads of messages. Tell me again. Sorry. Anne's had hers for 3 days. And she can do 3 games in 5 minutes. And she's playing it now. And are you playing against us right now at home? I hope you are.
Do you know what? At the moment, I think you and I, Derek, are trying to get 1 game done in an hour. Goodness me, I'm making a real hash of this.
Cancel
hang on.
every other show today. We could be here quite some time.
No, I think something possibly is going to happen very shortly.
I'm finished.
No, it's not. Have you done it?
Oh, I think I've done it. I've done it. Can I show you?
You can.
I am done.
that.
I'll show you the right way round. So you know that the right ones are covered up.
And I'm still busy over
Gavin,
here.
I can't believe it.
I know.
I'm
there you are. Now
stunned.
I've done mine now. And what you'll notice is we've done them in different ways.
Oh, yes.
Now,
oh, do you want me to?
That is fantastic. Now, let me tell you what you actually get in your set. Now, where Derek is over there,
yes.
You'll see that what we've actually got are the 2 giant sets, which we've had specially made for Hochanda. Yes. What you actually get in your set is what Derek's got over there with him, which is the 2 smaller, much more handy sets that you've got there, which come with your dice as well.
Let's see if I can pick them up.
2 sets come inside every pack, and of course, because you only need the 1 set of dice, you can play with somebody else remotely, either by sending them a set and just rolling the dice where you are, or they can do the same. And you can have however many people you want playing, as long as you can tell who's actually finished first. And they clock into place nicely. It really is a beautiful, beautiful game. I cannot recommend this game highly enough to you. If you buy 1 game in the whole of the rest of your life, this is the game to buy. And I will tell you as well, by the way, if you go onto the Hochanda website, and you have a look at the reviews of this, and there are bucket loads of them. Every single review, without a single exception, is a 5-star review. The Hochanda viewers are in love with this game as much as I am.
Well, I tell you what, I have to tell you, that's my very, I've heard about this game as well, and everyone since I came into the building has said, do you know what, as a welcome back, you are going to love this show. You're going to absolutely love this show, and I had never seen this game before. That was the first time I'd ever played it, I promise. Absolutely brilliant. I've had loads and loads of emails as well. Thank you for all your messages. Pat says the Genius Square was our Christmas game of choice this Christmas. Hubby and me have played nearly every day since Christmas. What I like about it is the rules are simple. It's thought-provoking, and it doesn't drag on all day. Can be as long or as short as you want. Perfect game. Love it, says Pat on the Wirral. And Margaret says, I've bought this at Christmas for my grandson, and we all loved it. I've just ordered another one so we can play it on FaceTime. See, that's the great thing as well now, isn't it? Is if you're communicating, which we all are right now, Zoom and FaceTime and Skype and all of these video things right now, is that you can play this across the web as well. Right, just going back to the puzzles briefly, Nigel has sent us a pictures of... Oh! He says he absolutely loves the puzzles, and here it is, proudly completed. That's the wave. That's the wavy rainbow, isn't it?
Look at that. That is stunning. That's a different jelly bean one.
Oh, that's got more jelly beans in it.
That's got far more jelly beans.
Oh, right. Thank you, Nigel, for sending that in as well. Keep sending those in, because I would love to hear. So, 1 set that we buy gets you, it's 2 of the Genius Squares, so that's enough for you and someone far away to be able to play. But the best thing to do is get yourself a set, obviously, and then send somebody else the set as well, because then that pond keeps rippling out, doesn't it? Then more and more people can play. Does that mean that if you're on a Zoom or a Skype or one of those kind of calls with several other people, they can all be playing the same game at the same time? So
I had a conversation this week with one of your viewers, a lovely lady called Hochanda, who wanted me to know that she's got grandchildren dotted all over the world. And Hochanda goes on to Zoom with them every week, and they all play the Genius Square at the same time together.
Gosh, this is so nice. And actually, you know what? We're never here to knock anything else, but there are certain board games that, when they're mentioned, strike terror into you. Do you know what I mean? Because they take so long and long and long. Oh, Norma beat both of us, Gavin, I've just heard. Who was it? Oh, Norma Ann. She beat us both by 30 seconds.
Should we play everyone again?
Yeah, oh yeah, can we?
Let's play everyone again. Let's play another game, because that's what they're sitting there waiting to do. And I'm hoping that this lady Hochanda is there with her grandchildren wanting to play this as well. It was such a sweet email that Hochanda sent me. I love it. There we go. OK, let's re-roll these dice and see where we'll come up. OK, so we have got A3.
A3.
A5.
A5.
C1.
C1.
C6.
Oh.
E3, F1, and F4. Very different to last time. Let's give the viewers just a moment to get themselves sorted out in there.
In a row.
Right, are you ready, Derek?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Let's go.
Now, having completely embarrassed myself in the last game, I need to make sure I get this right.
I can't
Otherwise,
believe
my reputation goes
Lightning
out
will never strike twice. Oh, no.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
There's quite a few ones that are left on their own in this game, isn't there?
Well, this is what you've got to guard against, and that's what makes it so difficult, because it really is a challenge to get and this time I win.
Oh! Oh, well done.
Look at that. Look at that. How
You did that
perfectly
in
did I do-
25 seconds, Leslie's just told me.
Well, listen, it should normally take between 30 seconds and a minute.
That's so awesome. Did anybody beat Gavin, though? That's what we want to hear.
I bet there were plenty.
Drop us a little message in if you did. That's such a brilliant game. I just want to play it forever and ever and ever. And Leslie's being time marshal in my ear for this show, and she's saying, you're not playing any more games of that for now. You've got to move on to the next one. We've got to move on to Genius Star. And Genius Star is a step on.
It is.
From the Genius Square.
It is, and I shall explain to you why it's different. I'm just moving the pieces across to here. Now, look, you do get 2 sets of these again inside your package, but I've got one for you over there.
OK.
And I've got one over here so that we're going to be able to play. Now, this one has 11 shapes instead of 9, but there is a delicious little twist in here. We've got 7 dice again, but these are not just all regular dice. We've actually got some octagonal dice in here as well. And the net result of that is that it leaves us with roughly 166,888,000 combinations.
Oh, gosh.
Something like that.
Who works all of that out?
Well, actually, they've all got to be checked by a computer.
Really?
And the maths of it is based on the number of different things which appear on the dice. And you multiply it through to get the number of possibilities. But once we finish designing these games, then what we have to do is we have to get the computer to play all of them. And I can tell you in the case of the Genius Star, it took the computer 3 seconds to play every game. But with the number of games it had to play, it took 6 days for the computer to actually play at a rate of 1 game every 3 seconds. Now,
That's
our
incredible.
blocker pieces here are these white pieces which have got the star inside.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's not quite the same as in the Genius Square. We're going to put those up there. And, oh, you've got a piece of Bee Genius in there, which we'll come to later. Now, the little twist in this are these 2 pieces here. Now, we've got 2 halves of a hexagon here.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just 2 regular blue half hexagons here. But if you turn them over, they will together make a golden star. Now, on roughly 54% of the combinations, it is possible to complete the star with the golden star being whole inside. So your task...
Is that your gold medal, then?
That is your gold medal. Now, your task is to, first of all, work out whether or not you want to play it straight and just go for a win without these 2 being together, or whether you want to gamble and try and go for a double win by completing this with the star being in one whole place.
Right,
now,
bring it on.
Just to let you know, before we get too excited, because it's only possible on 54% of the possible solutions, there is actually a website. If you go to geniusstar.com, you can actually put your coordinates in and it will tell you whether or not it is possible to complete your puzzle with the golden star complete. So let's roll our dice. Let's make sure we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and number 7 had gone straight over there.
Right.
And what you'll notice here, I hope the camera might want to come in a little bit nearer, just to be able to see the board. We've actually got let's turn it around here. Hope you can see this, that you've actually got the numbers that are imprinted onto the board. We can see that there. You can see, so they're not coordinates in the same way. They are just the numbers from 1 to 48. So if we roll the dice now, and we'll see what we've got. So these are the numbers you're going to block out with your white stars.
OK.
So we have got number 1. We've got number 22.
22.
And we've got number 28.
28.
And we've got number 4.
4.
And number 27.
27.
And number 41.
This just makes you smile.
And your bonus ball.
Yes.
That's what you were thinking, I know. Number 25.
25.
OK.
Right,
so no one's winning the lottery off of this, but hopefully we will race against each other to see who can complete this. Now, this is much more difficult.
Yes.
OK, this is much trickier. To keep it simple, I'm going to try and do this without actually having the golden star together, otherwise we really might be here for far too long. You ready to have a go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
OK, go.
Right.
Now, let's see. This is significantly more difficult. So if you got the Genius Square and you love the Genius Square and you want to be stretched a little bit further, this is definitely the game to go for here. So many more possibilities, and it will drive you even more insane than the Genius Square does already.
Oh, I love it.
I am
Do you know as
definitely
well, it's
working my way
something that
through this.
absolutely everybody can do. You know, there are certain word games that you think, actually, you know, that's not going to work for so-and-so or whatever. And sometimes people can feel excluded from some board games. I mean, this is something that absolutely everybody can get involved
100%.
with, which I think is really, really good. It's really, really important. And actually something that just, you know, takes you away from everything else that might just be going on. I'm absolutely nowhere near.
I've done it. Look at that.
Have you done it?
I've done it.
Oh, well done. Right, how long did that take, Leslie? Right, we didn't have the timer, but it's got to be less than a minute, hasn't it?
That was, I think I got a bit lucky there, to be honest with you.
I've got some very, 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 very gaping gaps in mine. I would be some months behind you, I think, there, Gavin.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you think, see, the thing was, I went for the quick kind of, I'm going to put my golden star in first, which was probably a completely terrible move, and then see if I could go from there. But I guess people strategise in different ways for this game,
Absolutely.
don't they?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Right, now listen, I'm gonna shimmy on just because I want to get everything back in and remind you of everything that's in the show. So the Genius Star there is $18.99. Again, remember, these are on extended delivery going out at latest on the 25th of January. You can break that price down into two as well with Flex Stravaganza as well, which is wonderful. Sorry, did you say we were going somewhere? Are we going somewhere? Oh, have we? Right, OK, we've got a little piece of film to talk about the Be Genius, which is the junior version of these fabulous games, a slightly more or less competitive version for the children. Have a little look at this. Right. OK, so Be Genius. Let's have a quick look at Be Genius, shall we?
Very quick, because we are running out of time. This is the junior version, ages 3 to 8. Much bigger pieces, really nice and chunky, beautifully made. These will last for a lifetime. And this is the non-competitive version. So if you're trying to build the confidence and thinking skills of a younger puzzler, this is the way to do it. Very simply done. You roll the 6 dice. They are colour-coded and they've got the numbers from 1 to 6 on them. The queen bee goes in the middle of the honeycomb like that. And then we block off the rest of them. So we've got the purple 1 and we've got the green 5 and we've got the red 5 and we've got the orange 6 and we've got, what have I missed out here? The blue number 3. And one more is the yellow number 4. And then what we're going to do is we are going to just get all of these to fit into place. The pieces are beautiful and they clock in such a lovely way. And while I'm finishing that off, if you want to run through, Derek, all the other things which we've got, and then I shall let you know when I've done it. It really is,
because we're about to run out of time as well. So let's go and have a look at the puzzles that are on the show and the games as well. So Be Genius is $16.99 there. Let's go and have a look at the puzzles that we've got in the show, because they are brilliant. Remember, a lot of them are world exclusive as well, so we're going to go through them on little pictures there. So Call the Midwife is totally and utterly exclusive to us. 425525. You can have a closer look at these on the website, of course, at $18.99. Also completely exclusive to us. Well, we have got the existing. That's the brand new Call the Midwife puzzle, isn't it? Sorry, I beg your pardon.
That's the exclusive one.
That's the exclusive one. 519447 is your item number, $18.99. Quick look at the Laurel and Hardy puzzle as well. There it is, 1,000 pieces of Laurel and Hardy doing a puzzle. 441977. Now that's going to be a nice challenge for you. You're going to love it. $18.99. There's a 500-piece Laurel and Hardy puzzle as well, which is again Stan and Ollie puzzling over the puzzle. 271344 is the item number for that one at $16.99. Mr. Bean, which is totally exclusive to us as well, as the 30th anniversary celebrations are happening right now. I wonder how celebratory those celebrations are. 799524. We all love and adore Mr. Bean. And from the Mr. Bean to the Beano, which we all love, and it's been part of our life. 395850 is your item number for that one at $18.99. I have to tell you, there are so many people who are buying right now. I know a lot of people were waiting. A lot of people wait until the end of the show and then they say, right, OK, now I'm going to go and make my decisions. The Genius Square, everyone needs in their lives, let's face it. It's such fun. I mean, that was the first time I played that game as well, and it was such brilliant fun. Got to have one of those. 549652 is the item number. Remember, you don't have to play alone with that one as well. You can play on the other side of the world with that game with someone else as well, lots of other people. And I know there's a lot of competitions which happen in-house here at Hochanda with that as well. So that's 549652. Gavin, thank you so much. What a fun hour. It's gone so far too quickly. When are you back with us?
Absolutely great. I don't know. In the next few days, I'll be back.
Fantastic.
Everybody will
Can't wait.
know.
I love it. I really want to have a go at that grass puzzle as well. It is brilliant. Please make sure that you check out your baskets. Remember that you can break everything down into two flexes as well with Flextravaganza. Take advantage of that. Treat yourself, treat your friends, treat the family as well. Get some fabulous games that really make you smile and everyone can be part of. I tell you what, my first show with the Happy Puzzle Company, and it's been amazing. Thank you.